What's up, everyone? Welcome to Magic Minute. This is the first episode. I'm your host, Colby. I'm the writer and editor of MagicFastBreak.com, your number one source for a fan's perspective of Orlando Magic news. Magic Minute is just a short video series we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we talk about what's going on with the team, some game recaps, and stuff like that. So let's get going. On Sunday, the Magic played their preseason opener against the New Orleans Hornets in Mexico City. They started Mexico native center Gustavo Ayllón. Gustavo Ayllón had a pretty impressive game. He had 12 points and 6 rebounds. Glenn Davis, who wasn't too hot with his field goals, only 2 for 5, managed to get to the line 10 times, and he had 13 points. Daquan Jones, who everybody figured was just camp fodder when the Magic signed him a few weeks ago, had a fairly impressive game. He had 8 points and showed a lot of athleticism, and he may just make it onto the team. His main competition is Christian Eyenga, who we haven't got to see much from because of an injury. And possibly the most impressive player that played on Sunday, who was a big surprise, was E'Twaun Moore. Moore had 16 points and 7 assists, and he was the leading scorer on the team. The Magic did crumble in the fourth quarter and lost 85-80. I still do, however, have high hopes for this team, and I hope the game on Thursday goes just as smoothly, and maybe we can even close out in the fourth quarter. One piece of news that kind of shocked a lot of Magic fans was that the Magic announced on Tuesday that they were going to sign forward Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson was just let go by the Clippers, and the Magic mostly picked him up just so they could play 5-on-5 exhibition games during practice. So I wouldn't expect Chris Johnson to stay on the team much longer. This leads us to the interesting question of roster cuts. The Magic, as of now, have 20 players signed to their roster. The NBA states you can't have more than 15 players. Chris Johnson is almost certainly being cut, so the question becomes, what other 4 players do the Magic cut? On the Orlando Magic Real GM forums, they started a poll to decide what players the users wanted cut. Here are the top 4. Number 1, Armin Johnson. Johnson didn't really have a very impressive game on Sunday, with the exception of a nice crossover to Austin Rivers that broke his ankles. Justin Harper is number 2. Harper's been kind of a disappointment ever since we traded 2 second-round draft picks to get him in 2011. Number 3, Josh McRoberts. Josh McRoberts seemed to be playing pretty lackadaisically on Sunday's game, and it doesn't seem like he really wants to be here. So I expect Coach Vaughn and GM Hennigan to get him out of here if he really doesn't want to play here. And number 4 is Christian Eyenga, with a close tie to Daquan Jones. Users on the forum can't really decide which one they want gone. They haven't seen Eyenga play yet, and if Eyenga has a pretty stellar game whenever they do decide that he's good to go, the users of the forum may change their mind. Well, that's it for this Magic Minute. I'm going to be back on Friday talking about the game we play versus Philadelphia on Thursday at 7 p.m. It's not going to be televised here in Orlando, so if you want to see it, you have to go to the game. Good news is the tickets are pretty cheap. I looked on StubHub, and you can get tickets for as low as 90 cents a ticket. Of course, they also do charge electronic fees and a convenience fee. Well, that's it. I hope you guys tune in next time. And if you haven't already, check out our blog at MagicFastBreak.com. I'm your host, Colby. We'll see you next time.